Hi everybody, welcome to your first Tuesday video. This one is going to be about AI. A little bit of response from Kabam on some stuff, and I think it's really important because whether or not you like the game, or I'd say people that don't like the game, if you don't like the game, why are you still playing the game? I find a lot of people like come back to the game, which is still really cool, and I'm sure those people that have come back recently probably go, "Oh, not much has really changed with the AI." AI gets kind of like tuned well for about, I don't know, a year, and then after that year's passed, it then gets wonky again. Kabam retool it, they try and optimize stuff, it then goes clunky again, then they have to do it again. It's a vicious cycle. We've been doing this for 10 years. I think a lot of us that have been in there for the long haul definitely know the state of affairs with stuff. Recently, I've been seeing a lot more posts from people, frustrations around AI, and it's something that Kabam, of course, are working on, but to what end? And that's still something we don't know because it's all going quiet. I've seen people that I really like, White Mummy, mention stuff. I wish we could delay Alliance War season till AI is fixed. I got parried 6 times during this war in 3 different fights. That is not going to be good for anyone's enjoyment of the game. And yeah, there is this element of people are getting frustrated with this stuff. I've definitely seen, people that within our alliance, I think, that have decided to leave because they've had enough of this, and it's it's stressful. I'm not sure if it's stressful for Kabam because I don't know if they kind of go, oh, this is the priority or not. I don't know. Only Kabam know what is a frustration or not with it. You got people talking about stuff like hitbox issues on my end, maybe dropped inputs on my end, maybe timing on my end, maybe. Regardless of the reason, I've never been able to parry the opponent's heavy. There's some really weird stuff in any case. A lot of people, and this is when it's sad when you play a game and you spend too much time questioning yourself. Is that a healthy healthy habit or healthy relationship to have with any kind of game? I mean, I'd say 7 years ago, me would probably be very angry with stuff like this. But as I've, got a bit older, and at the same time, very real kind of stuff has happened to me that has, changed me forever. Like in the last 3 years, you kind of look at situations like this with a different lens, and you kind of maybe get a bit frustrated, and I'm not frustrated, but I'd say just get exhausted to a point of things don't change. Like we've been always going, we want the game to do well, we want Kabam to do well, but there are things that have and keep rearing their ugly head, and Kabam will say, well, that's game development. Well, I suppose that's the case, but there is also games developers like Bandai Namco Games, if you don't know already, consistently bring out decent fighting games with decent, consistent AI. If you've seen the absolutely amazing title, which is Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, which has recently come out, that's a good example of that. The Tekken franchise is getting better. They've even introduced this new kind of ghost AI, which they say, and I need to find the exact thing where they quote on this one, or what is quoted as this: the game mode offers you the ability to fight with a ghost AI that has learned to mimic the capabilities of its human player, both in strength and weakness. This allows the ghost AI not only to feel like a real player, but grants them the capability to act as one as well, due to unintentional mistakes from a human, like errors such as mistimings or misinputs during gameplay. That's what I'm talking about, right? And it's not a case of rubbing, salt in the wounds with Kabam. It's like, look, there's developers out there and Kabam may be working on this stuff in secret, but you never really hear about that type of. We've identified, what, let's say Tekken 8 would, and I suspect Kabam would say, well, we don't have the technology to do what they're doing with this. But look, they're innovating. They're getting this stuff sorted out, and as well, it's decent AI in their games from a fighting sense. Of course, it's different when it comes to Tekken, when it comes to the PvP side of things, because you're facing against another player. But when it comes to, say, AI, it's kind of having that, but as your what is it? PvE, as your PvE type fighting, not PvP, but your PvE. So you're fighting champions in games that kind of like are fair against. They're not computerized, not at all, but they're personalized, humanized, and maybe that's the kind of way that would make, you know, the game a bit better. Like I don't know if that's the case. That's up to Kabam. Do they want to do that? Do they want to not do that? That again is up to you, Kabam. Now, what people are experiencing ranges. It massively ranges. You know, here's a good example right here. You know, as Nuke puts on this. All the same problems for months coming on a year and have become more exacerbated. AI light intercepting. AI special intercepting. Oh, don't get me started on that one. AI draft back intercepting. AI not throwing specials. AI parrying hits constantly. AI recovery time issues all noted on this page. I'll put links to all of this in the description. AI not throwing for specials. That's 4 and 7. It's frustrating though. AI holding specials until you ramp up falls off. That's an issue as well. Like you can't get your ramp sometimes because of it. I'm playing too cautiously nowadays. I'll be brutally honest. Some of the stuff that I was doing about a year ago, where I was just finding my confidence and my rhythm to kind of do things like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4 hit and then in with and then back off back in again. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm being just too cautious and I'm not enjoying that kind of flair that I was kind of developing to kind of improve as the showcasing I've got a little bit of skill. It's made me a very different player, and with very terribly made Alliance War tactics of just, you know, they're just kind of sinking my mood at the moment with some elements of the game. Not all of it. I really do like the game, but you know, there's this stuff that irks me a bit because you fight. It's a fighting game, and as I've said, if the fighting elements of it are not up to the top notch, like whether or not Kabam think this game is a AAA game on mobile, it's very much sometimes such a difficult thing to say yes or no to. AI specials, but instantly dropping SP3. Yeah, AI not dashing to get parried, instead walking up to you and waiting for the exact moment to block is dropped. Yes, that happens a lot in War. That leads to parries, reparries. AI not throwing 4-hit combos straight into specials. AI recovery time making it impossible to safely punish specials. Yep. AI recovery time making it impossible to safely punish heavy attacks. Yep. AI recovery time allowing AI to punish our special animations and heavy attacks. There's definitely a lot of elements to this that need to be looked into. And look, Kabam crashed, took time, I think it was on Sunday, to give a response. Fair play. Thank you very much for doing that. I think it was like late Sunday night. To kind of like, you know, read up some stuff. You know, Kabam Crashed is out there in the trenches, reading stuff from time to time whenever he gets an opportunity and answering back, which is great, especially like, you know, higher up to do that. So, what did Kabam have to say? Kabam Crash read everything. Well, he read something in particular right here, especially when it comes to like competitive elements. So having 2 accounts means I could play Gladiator Track. They legit knew that it was intercept meta and purposely gave us passive AI, and of course compensation of passive AI. This comment is pretty instructive because it demonstrates the cycle we are on in right now, where frustration has led to confirmation bias, and it has really taken over. I understand conspiracy theories that are making AI deliberately harder in content like Summer of Suffering. They aren't true. Every Summer of Suffering fight had the same AI profile, but I understand why it might think that they are true. Harder AI in Everest content equals harder fights, more consumables used, theoretically more money for us, at least in the short term. As much as I want to kind of like, I do agree with this, but also I don't. Whenever you put on an AI profile with a certain node choice, the AI does in some ways behave a little bit differently. And if you're saying that it's just like, maybe Kabam would say, no, Rich, you're wrong on this one. But you look at it this way. Remember when we had the AI for that Crossbones fight, when he had, was it Bane? So if the AI was not coming out at you and naturally flowing in the fight, you would get degen to death. And I was mentioned to Kabam about that one. So as much as I agree, then there's circumstances that and evidence of the past where we can't 100% trust in Kabam to say, oh, you're putting that together. Is that a fair build against what that node will make the defender do? But I could be wrong. But anyway. However, the community should be able to take a step back and realize none of those incentives exist for us in Battlegrounds. In Battlegrounds, the more players play, the better it is for our business. The idea that we would deliberately create a harder or more frustrating AI simply doesn't hold water. We have not the exact same AI profile applied in both the Victory Track, Gladiator Circuit, and any perceived differences is just confirmation bias. I would say this is sometimes where I don't necessarily agree with Kabam on stuff, especially because when stuff like this here, which we just listed, highlights some very real points that players experience when they're looking at this. You know, the issue of when you're in war and trying and getting like parried and reparried, and how that just functions around where was it, the line here, AI not throwing 4-hit combos straight into specials. Was it that one? Or recovery time making it impossible to safely punish specials. There's stuff within that just, again, when it goes into nodes, it gets kind of amplified a bit more, and it becomes a lot more, there's a lot more going on there that needs to be looked into. And also, just to be clear, I'm not saying that there are no... Here we go. This is the kind of confirmation. Just to be clear, I'm not saying there are no problems with the AI. I personally believe we have some substantial issues we need to address. Thank you. And I'm hoping we can communicate them more effectively in the coming months. But I can tell you definitely that we aren't making harder AI profiles to target specific metas. I do agree with that one, but I also think that they need to be very careful with how nodes play into that, because sometimes the AI will play differently or kind of, you know, behave differently. Again, good example is that Crossbones fight, how Crossbones was with Bane, and how that degen damage was kind of unavoidable and was just completely ridiculous for no particular reason, which I think even Kabam agreed with. Anyway, there will be plenty of examples from the community on this, from, you know, performance standpoints, things that have been going right and things that have been going wrong. Thanks for the thoughtful reply. You're 100% right. The XO champion situation was the main issue with the Onslaught fight. The fact that Toad's medium one, is it M1? Whatever, doesn't move him forwards as much as most other champions with the issue baiting specials in this fight. You have actually hit the nail on the head here, at least in my opinion. AI recovery time is too fast. What? We didn't mean what? We didn't mean to increase it. This wasn't deliberate, but it pretty clearly is recovering faster than it used to. In my opinion, this is a core issue with why the AI feels so much harder than it used to be, because it impacts so many different AI interactions. And we're working to fix this. Wow. I'm actually lost for words, because, you know, when I set out to grab these bits of information to make the video right here, I wasn't 100% certain where this would lead to, and I wanted to leave this as a bit of a surprise for me, because I got the first bit, but I didn't read the second part here. And now that we're dissecting for this is the massive takeaway and the massive bit of honesty. So fair play to Kabam crashed on this, because it does at least give me a glimmer of hope that Kabam are actually understanding what we're seeing, and this is great news, providing there is a fix to this. This is pretty big. This is a pretty big omission from Kabam to say the AI recovery time is too fast. There's times where I just like, I want to say it, but I kind of feel like if I say it out loud in videos and things, like, as I'm playing, I know people could be like, no, you're just you know, just crap. Sometimes it's quite easy to say that to yourself, but yeah, AI recovery time is too fast. We didn't mean to increase it. It wasn't deliberate. There you go. And on that bombshell, that's your Tuesday big scoop of the day. your big fat man scoop, RIP, of the day. What's everyone's thoughts on that as the closing statement? Kabam, we're going to work on that as much as other things as well. Appreciate Kabam Crash for the honesty here and admitting to this. And yeah, thanks very much for watching this video. I'm pretty pleased to know that they know that they've got to deal with that. The second part is dealing with it. And I really hope they do, as well as other things. It's not just about that. There's other things as well. And that's been the video for today. There could be another one. Bye-bye for now. Have a great day.